Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sarah, and welcome to 1213 Prescott Way. David is at his show, so I decided to do a mukbang all on my own. I hope you guys are having a great day. I am. So let me tell you what I am eating. I had a craving for this for the past 3 days. It is the ramen noodles, vegetable ramen noodles with baby corn, broccoli, peas, carrots, mushrooms, and that's it. So let's dig in. I am so hungry. You guys get a closer look. It is delicious. Mm. 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 So what are you guys eating today? Mm. This is my first meal today, so I am hungry. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Delicious. Let me tell you. Baby corn. Yes. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I just want to get some bitefuls in before I start talking because I am hungry. Okay, got my Tabasco in here. I decided to change positions. Seem to be brighter over here. So anyway, I have a question for you guys. Have you ever got a job from HE double hockey sticks, but it seemed like it was all great when you started and everything, and then all of a sudden it just changed? Well, I want to give you my experience. This was on Indeed. You know, I still keep my resume on Indeed. I just do it. So a while ago, a long time ago, I had received a message from this person saying they saw my resume on Indeed and they were interested in me. So I reached back. We scheduled the interview. And so I interviewed with this person. Hit it off. We stayed on the phone for about 45 minutes just talking about, you know, each other. And they were from the Bahamas and me being from Panama. We had a lot in common. And so we were just talking. And so I was excited, and they were like saying how they wanted me to come in. I had applied for this certain position, so I knew what the salary was. It was below what I normally get, but we both agreed after 90 days that it would be reevaluated. And of course, I'd get a raise and start doing the position that I actually am trained for. I just wanted to get my foot in the door because they were hiring for this other position. So I did. I accepted, I started the position. And at no time did I even do the position that I actually applied for or was hired for. I was actually doing the paralegal work, the work that, that I am actually trained for, because this was a different type of firm. I'm used to doing insurance defense, personal injury, construction defect. I've done family law on my own, but this was the first time I've actually was going to work at a family law firm. And it was out of the state. So I said, okay, let me get in, get some experience, and then I'll transition into the paralegal position. So at no time did I ever answer a phone call or anything like that. I was just thrown into the paralegal position as soon as I started the job. So I'm doing it, showing I was like, okay, and still, mind you, getting the pay for the position I applied for. And I'll tell you, it was a receptionist position. And it was like a receptionist, legal assistant, where you're just helping out. So like I said, at no point did I do the receptionist position. They never trained me on the phones or anything. They just trained me on the documents, and communicating with the clients, going into the programs that they have, and actually doing the trial paralegal work. So I'm thinking, I'm telling David, I'm like, okay, this is good, that she trusts me to just throw me in there to do it, knowing, and I was confident that I was doing it. But I'm like, what about my salary to compensate for the position? So I was like, I told David, okay, I'll just hang in there for the 90 days. So, so one time we had a meeting, because she would get, this person would get kind of, sassy with me. And I noticed every time we were in a group meeting, that's when it would happen. And she didn't respond that way to other people. So I was like, So then one time we met because we'd go over the clients, and, she'd like to know status of the cases. So of course I would okay, that person would like to know the status of each case. So one time I was in a meeting, and I gave her this. So one time I was in the meeting, and I gave this person the status of my cases. Then they said, okay, now on a personal note, I don't like your hair. And I'm like thinking, okay. I know this has nothing to do with my job, and it really irritated me because, of course, my hair is always nice, but that is beside the point. For you to call me out in front of people and just to get personal. And to be honest, I kind of knew what it was, because she realized that I wasn't just a paralegal, that I was doing other things. And so I couldn't believe she just called me out. I just wanted to say something so bad, but of course I stay professional. So I just said, well, you can't please everyone. I said, as long as I love it and my husband love it, it's good for me. And then she goes, well, I guess so. I just noticed little things, that I wasn't used to. Because like I said, I'm professional. I don't get personal unless we're like talking one-on-one. But when you're in a meeting, that seems to be the time that they love to do that. So at one point, I finally said, I told David, I said, I'm going to have to quit before I, tell this so-and-so off. So I did. It was about a month. Yeah, all that happened within a month. Just a constant bull, just like nitpicking. Although I knew I was doing the job, because it was like I wanted to ask them if they were bipolar. Because one minute they were like, oh, you're doing a great job and you're still hanging in there, right? You're not going to quit on me. And yes, you're the only one that's blah, blah, blah. And you're the only one that's blah, blah, blah. And then when she's in front of everyone else, which I knew I was doing a great job because I was going through everything. I was going through everything that I was taught. And I knew that I was doing a great job because people were, and I wondered why. Well, in the interview, let me go back. She was saying that, yeah, it's a she. I'm just gonna, that person is not working for me because I keep saying she anyway. So anyway, she told me that she likes she doesn't like employees to leave, and she does this for them and this for them and this for Christmas, flew everybody in and had dinner and da 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 da. So I'm thinking, oh, that's a great thing to do. But then when I started, I was there maybe a week, and people were leaving left and right. And I thought it was just them not being able to handle the position, But no, she makes you leave because she's just always, it's like she doesn't give you that breathing room to do your job. I'm used to being independent and working my thing and not somebody texting me and calling me and that, you know what I mean, every second. Even at the airport, when she's at the airport, she's on the plane, she's at the courthouse, she's driving to the courthouse, she has to do Zoom meetings. And I'm like, that's just way too much control. How is anyone supposed to do their job? I see why you go through people all the time, So yeah, I had to leave that. Because I'm like, I'm not used to this and I don't get down like that. I don't need anybody like sitting on my shoulder while I'm working and questioning everything I do. Everyone has a way to get the same thing accomplished. Me being left-handed and left-brained, I don't operate the same way other people do. Even David says it when even when we do math or something. We'll both come up with the same answer. Of course it's correct, but then he'll tell me how he came up with it and I tell him how I do it. He'd be like, what? Because I just don't process, you know what I mean? My process isn't the same, but it still is the same because she was saying, well, you should do it this way now. I'm like, no, that's not how I operate. I don't ever do things the way other people do it, but I get it done and it's done in a timely manner. And you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that was annoying. So yeah, like I said, I had to get out of there because I was going to cuss her straight out. And I don't like to get, unprofessional in a job, you know what I mean? Regardless if she burned the bridge, I'm not burning my side of the bridge. That one was very shocking to me. Fooled me completely. That's why I was wondering if she was bipolar. Because I'm like, how are you one way? And that was just to get me in, obviously, because she was the sweetest person, and I was all excited, and even telling my sister and and David, just saying, dang, she's this is going to be an awesome position. And my point was also the reason I quit, because I am tough. I hang in there because I was like, I'll just stick it out until the 90 days. But why am I doing the paralegal job and getting reception pay? So I feel I got swindled into accepting the job as well. And I was the only person of color. And so it made me wonder, why are you underpaying me? And I'm doing the same job that everyone else is doing. Yeah, because then I would see it on Indeed over and over. For months before and after. And I'm like, no, she can't keep anyone. So it was just, just very disheartening, but you live and learn. So I would consider that the worst job I've ever had. I can't think of any other job because, all my other jobs. And I was wondering why she didn't want people to, she said, like communicate through email, the work email. So no one had anyone's personal information, no phone numbers and all that. So I understood why. Because you don't want everyone to understand what was really going on. Like you weren't the only one being treated a certain way. And, But what topped it off for me was the underpaying. I can put up with you for a certain amount of money. For a little while, anyway. Did I tell you guys this was delicious? So yeah, David has 2 shows today. He's at his first one now, and then which just started at 2. I don't know what time it is. It should be close to 4. So it's almost over. And then he has to go back again for a 7:30 show. The 2 o'clock is doo-wop, and then this evening is Motown. So I might go to that one. So you guys, that's my story. But it just taught me that I'm supposed to continue and stick to doing my own thing instead of relying on someone else, you know, for income. You need to rely on yourself if you can, you know, if it's possible. I am getting full, but it's so good. And that is Freya. So anyway, you guys, thank you for listening to my little rant. I just thought I'd mention that to you guys. I know people have horror stories, so that's mine. Because like I said, I've never had that problem. I have a job, you know. I just feel like I was being used, being assigned at one point, because we had days of the week where we had days of the week where we are responsible for the calendar, and those clients that are scheduled for trial or whatever it is on those days, we're responsible for them. And then the rule would change every time. It was just weird. You know, when I first started and doing the, you know, and I was listening, we were in the meeting and she was saying, I wrote everything down because, you know, well, I don't know if you know me, but I take notes, tons of notes. And I went over my notes, went over their cheat sheet that they give you with the instructions and everything. And then as I'm doing things and telling her, okay, she would be like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, because it's on the sheet you gave me and told me that this was how we're supposed to do it. Well, no, don't do it that way. And then, you know, something else. Why'd you do that? You know, it was just crazy. But anyway, if you guys are one of those kind of bosses or run your business like that, stop. Stop. Haven't you been told that you get more bees with honey? You know, not vinegar, not lemon. Honey. Honey, baby. So anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell and so that you'll be notified when you get when I post a video. And I will see you folks on the next video. Love ya. Peace.